on the ground there.
We got you.
Do a little recon for us. It says, heads up, I live in Dallas. Dallas radio just said they want to get Stink fired up this morning.
Are you guys there?
Go get him, Stink.
Yeah,
Mark?
bring it, Stink.
Really? Yeah. They want to get Stink fired up?
Yeah.
Well,
are we there? Are we joining up with him now?
No.
All right, here we go.
All right, we're hooked up.
How you doing, boy?
Yeah, you got us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We made it work. Hey.
Look at that.
No, Armin Williams, Mark, told me to get you fired up. Yeah, the former
Oh,
PD
did he
over
now?
there. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, go. Hey, fire away right now because things are fairly grim here, but we got nothing to lose. I mean, we're coming out guns a-blazing. Now, guns a-blazing, I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, they may be water guns here, or maybe better than that. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to settle down. But yeah, I mean, we got nothing to lose. I mean, we're not very good. So you guys, you know what you need to do? Just, hey man, you guys got this is a layup for you guys. Just take the weekend off. You don't even have to show up.
Should have sat
Things
Dak.
are gonna be fine.
I see what you're doing there, Stink. I see what you're doing. Keep it up.
Yeah. Just sit him down. I mean, we got no chance, guys. No chance.
Has the Bronco fan base turned? What's the John Elway approval rating? Is everyone too afraid to say that Elway's a failure of a GM because they loved him as a player? What's the Elway approval rating?
Go ahead, Mike.
Well, since I was accused of hating John Elway by my partner,
Mike hates him.
Says I hate him. 3 years ago,
Why do you hate him?
I don't hate him. I just pointed out the fact that he started off as a great general manager, on his way to being a Hall of Fame general manager as well as a player, and that the last 5 years he's stunk, and he put the Broncos in the position that they're in right now. You guys, I think you're mistaken if you think that John Elway is still running things here. He isn't. George Payton is now in charge, and he came out earlier this week and held a press conference that had a lot of people irritated because he didn't go scorched earth and call for everybody to be fired. But hey, don't pay attention to what they say. Watch what they do. You're going to see a Bronco house cleaning when this thing is all said and done.
Mark, are you believing that the Dallas Cowboys, we kind of, hype ourselves up a little bit around here on TV a time or two. Are they different this year? Is this a legitimate, real Super Bowl contender?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Look at that.
Absolutely. You know what? When you watch it, I love the addition of Dan Quinn, and Dan is one of my favorite people in the NFL. Just like his connection to his players, the way he gets them to play for him, the connection he has with them, the relationship he builds with his players. He does a phenomenal job, and I think that's a big part of coaching. Obviously, you have to have that connection. You got to get guys to be fired up and to play for you. They're doing that on the defensive side of the ball. Parsons has been, better than advertised. I think coming out, he has been incredible. And offensively, when you look at the balance that they have right now, their ability to run the football, their ability to play bully ball, to be physical, to do those things with the receivers and the weapons that they have. And Dak has always been. Anybody who's followed me knows how much the affinity I've had for Dak since he came in the league. I've always thought he played kind of with an old soul about him. And Scott Linehan was my college quarterback. So Scott was his first coach his rookie year. And, Scott just speaks glowingly of Dak. And as a rookie, I leaned on Scott and said, hey, man, what do you see? What is he? And he's been, like I said, he's just been amazing for the Cowboys. So, yeah, I think they're a legit Super Bowl contender. I think they're one of the best teams in not just in the NFC, but in the league in general.
Wow, you guys in Dallas, this must be the greatest news you've heard since you've been totally irrelevant for the last 25 years.
Oh, look at that. Somebody gets Peyton Manning for 4 years, and they can talk all the trash they want.
Wow. Little Peyton Manning gift, and now you're on a high horse.
Coming in with an opinion that's hot, which is unlike, Schleris green chili sauce. But anyway.
That doesn't,
wow.
Don't go in his pocket.
Wait a minute.
Don't go in his wallet now, Troy.
Wow. Now now it just got real. It was all fun and games. All fun and games.
Actually, it's pretty good. It's really good.
Jack with you today.
Sorry, Jack.
So, hey, let me ask you guys down there a question. The Broncos are going to get new owners by next spring. Why should Bronco fans wish for an owner like Jerry Jones, and why should they pray they don't get one like Jerry Jones?
Oh, man.
Great question.
Yikes.
Well, you want one because you'll be more popular, even though the Broncos are, legendary organization. You'll always be in the news. You'll be revolutionary in terms of facilities and marketing and all that. Look, the big misnomer.
Who doesn't want hype with no results? That's what you want.
That's right.
Like you basically win every offseason.
Now that's right.
Hey, the big misnomer on Jerry, and Mark, you may know this going around for Fox talking to all these executives. It's kind of what you guys said about Elway. See, Jerry just wants to give the impression that he's like meddling or interfering or has the final say. Will McClay takes care of the personnel here, and Stephen Jones handles the money. Jerry, I've said this about him even though he comes on our station twice a week. He's the most insecure billionaire that you could ever imagine. He wants to be in the cool kids club, talking football. He doesn't want to be talking business and stocks and returns and all these financial discussions. He wants to feel included, and that's why he loves the perception that he is a football guy, but he's not really doing as much as the rest of the country, and everyone thinks that he does. That's the reality of it.
I don't like your attitude.
Hey, settle down.
Yeah, I think one of the things that has always intrigued me about him, say what you will, the connection he has with his players, and especially the guys that have retired, that he still takes care of those guys.
Yeah.
He still has relationship with those guys. He really, from that standpoint, he really is involved. Like he really helps his former players out. And I think that's the thing that I've always appreciated about him when you talk to, the guys that used to play for him, you going back to my day when they played for him, they're still involved with the organization, and he still takes care of those guys.
Mike, have you ever been invited? We're talking with Schlereth and Evans. We're doing Crosstalk with a Fan in Denver. We're 105.3 in DFW. Mike, have you ever been invited to the Von Miller party? And is it true that thing was a humongous scandal and contributed to Von being dealt to the Rams? Is that actually true?
No. Hey, as soon as George Payton found he was going to be able to get a second and a third for a guy that wasn't going to be here next year, and all he had to do was scratch out a check for $9 million, it became pretty easy to go ahead. I will say this, athletes party, teams party, it's been going on for as long as time began, but man, oh man, if there's one thing I'm okay with Vaughn leaving town, man, the Halloween parties over the last couple of years have gotten way too much attention and drawn out way too much drama to the point where we've got Noah Fant coming on our station the other day and confirming the fact that there was a problem and saying, that probably shouldn't have got out of our locker room. So is it a deal? Yeah, it's a deal. Is it a big deal? No, it's not why Von Miller's not here anymore.
Hey, how has Surtain been for you guys? Because we were all kind of disappointed after the first round because we need corners, and we're looking at J.C. Horn and Surtain. Bam, they both go off the board. Now we're really happy with Micah Parsons, but Mark, how has Surtain been? Has he lived up to the hype?
Yeah, he's actually been their best corner, and and they invested a ton into their defensive secondary. He's really been one of their, if not their best player. He and Kareem Jackson at the safety position, but he's been their best corner, and he is a guy that right off the bat in training camp, I mean, they had him outside, then they had him in the starting nickel, then they had him in the starting dime as a linebacker. So he's got that kind of versatility. He's playing outside now because they've had some injuries. We'll see if that versatility comes to bear because they've got they lost Callahan, their starting nickel corner. So I don't know if he'll move back inside or how that's going to work. But yeah, he has been as good as advertised. Probably has not had the kind of hype that Micah Parsons has got, because Micah Parsons, went from linebacker, then he also rush defensive end. He's making all kinds of plays off the edge, and now he's got that versatility to play in multiple kind of positions. So probably doesn't have that kind of hype right now, but he has been very good out there at the corner position.
I like Surtain, but I loved Parsons coming out of college. Are you guys in love with him now? Is he completely taken DFW over by storm or what?
Yes,
he has. I mean, he's a great player. I want him to play edge. That's just me. But I would love to see him move full time to defensive end. I just think that's where he's. I mean, he's so good at rushing the passer. Just so good. Mark, question.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised by like when he got moved out to the edge. I was like, oh, here we go. And then he was just, I mean, he was as good as anybody you have. So that part was amazing. Go ahead.
We're gonna have Lael Collins at right tackle and Steele at left tackle this week, and the talk was
because Tyron's out,
shifting left to right. How difficult is it to go left to right, play the different spots on the offensive line from the left-hand, right-hand aspect?
Say it, Mark. Say it.
Yeah, it's like wiping your butt with your left hand.
Mike
Go ahead.
McCarthy just told us that this morning.
You can't go left. You can't go left.
Yeah, it's. Hey, listen.
After the chili, after the salsa.
Yeah.
Right, but that it just slides out. You don't even have to wipe. It's just clean as a whistle.
You need tempo and rotation.
Right. I moved from right to left. I moved from right guard in Washington to left in Denver, and it legitimately took me the entire season to feel comfortable. I mean, I messed with my stance so much. I messed with trying to get my left hand down. I actually played left guard with a right-handed stance. I just could never do it. It just was so awkward and so weird to do that. So it is really hard. I always say this. It's like taking a left-handed batter and saying, this guy's the best left-handed batter in the league, and the bottom of the ninth of a key game, bottom of the ninth, go, hey man, take this at bat from the right side. Like it's really hard to do, and physically it's hard to do, but mentally you got to kind of switch everything as well. So it's a really hard thing to do, and you think about this. I talk about this all the time. The offensive linemen, we're the worst athletes on the field. They're still exceptional athletes, don't get me wrong, but you're the worst athletes on the field. You've seen transition. Corners go to safety go to outside linebacker go to D-end, go to D-tackle, that type of thing. D-tackle move over to the offensive side of the ball and play offensive line. The transition for offensive linemen is fan. You go O-line, fan. That's the next one. You don't move positions as an O-lineman. You just are out of the game once you can't play anymore. You can't switch positions. And name me one other position in one other sport or one other position in any sport where unlike athletes match up. So I'm the worst athlete, and I have to block you 65 plays in a row. And if I don't win all 65, I suck, and you go to the Pro Bowl. Right? You get one sack on me, and you're going to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? And you're a better athlete. You're exponentially better athlete than I am. So to me, it's the most skilled position in all of football. And there's no question. We always talk about skill position. I could throw you a football, you could catch it, you could throw it back to me. If I had one-on-one drill with you inside that studio, I'd whip your ass because I know what I'm doing and you don't. So it just is. It's a really skillful, artful position that people don't really understand how hard that is. And so flipping positions is man, that's a tough ask.
Guys, welcome to my world where playing offensive line and the role of offensive lineman has never been as important as it is when you listen to Mark Schlereth talk about it.
Great explanation.
It's the most important. There's no question it's the most important position in football, but even more so than the quarterback. Quarterback, who cares? They wear pink. Hey, those guys wear pink jerseys at practice. They're not football players. If you wear a pink jersey at practice, you're not a football player.
Guys, this was a blast. Mike, I'd love to say we'll do it again later in the year, but you guys obviously will be sitting home. So get your insults in. You got 7 or 8 weeks of regular season before you got to watch us be back on top again. Thank you, guys. It was fun.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, thank you.